Jane and Anne overweight? No, Jane and Anne aren't overweight. Are they slim? Yes, they're slim. Are they slim or overweight? They're slim. They're slim. 2 years ago, were they slim? No, they weren't slim. 2 years ago. 2 years ago, were they slim or overweight? 2 years ago, they were slim. Are they still overweight now? No, they aren't. Now, they are no longer overweight. Did they used to be overweight? Yes, that's correct. They used to be overweight. When did they used to be overweight? When were they overweight? When were they overweight? They were overweight 2 years ago. 2 years ago, Jane and Anne. 2 years ago, were Jane and Anne both overweight? Yes, that's correct. 2 years ago, Jane and Anne both overweight. Are they equally overweight? No, they aren't equally overweight. Were they equally overweight? No, they weren't equally overweight. One of them was more overweight than the other. Was Anne overweight? Was Anne more overweight than Jane? Was Anne more overweight than Jane? No, Anne wasn't more overweight than Jane. Who was more overweight than the other? Jane was more overweight than Anne. Was Jane a little overweight or very overweight? Well, Jane was very overweight. What about Anne? Was Anne a little overweight or very overweight? Well, Anne was little overweight. Well, Anne was a little overweight. Tell me again, who was more overweight than the other? Tell me again, who was more overweight than the other? Well, Jane was more overweight than Anne. When were they overweight? 2 years ago, they were overweight. How were overweight? How overweight were they? Well, Jane was very overweight and Anne was a little overweight. Now I'm going to ask questions about Kate and her brother Tom. When Kate and Tom were little, did they think Superman was real? When Kate and Tom were little, did they think Superman were real? No, they didn't think Superman's was. No, they didn't think Superman's were little were real when they were little. No, they didn't think Superman's were real when they were little. When they were little, who did they think was real? When they were little, they thought Santa Claus was real. Did they think zombies were real? No, they didn't think zombies were real. Who did they think was real? They thought Santa Claus was real. When Tom was a boy, did he have a friend named Nick? Did he have a friend named Nick? Yes, that's correct. When Tom was a boy, he had a friend named Nick. What did Nick tell him one day? One day, Nick told him that Santa Claus wasn't real. Did Nick tell him that Supermans weren't real? No, Nick didn't tell him that Superman were real. Did Nick tell him that zombies were real? Were real? No, Nick didn't tell him that zombies were real. What did Nick tell him? Nick told him that Santa Claus wasn't real. When Tom realized that Santa Claus wasn't real, did he feel angry? No, that's not how he felt. When Tom realized the Santa Claus wasn't real, he didn't feel angry. Did he feel embarrassed? No, he didn't feel embarrassed. How did he feel? He felt surprised and sad at the same time. Who was surprised and sad? It's Tom. It was Tom. Tom was surprised and sad. When Tom got home that day, what did he do? When Tom got home that day, he told Kate that Santa Claus didn't actually exist. Did he tell Kate that their parents were sick? No, he didn't tell Kate that their parents were sick. Did he tell Kate that ghosts didn't actually exist? No, he didn't tell Kate that ghosts didn't actually exist. What did he tell Kate? He told Kate that. What did he tell Kate? What did he tell Kate? Well, he told Kate that Santa Claus didn't actually exist. When Kate realized the Santa didn't actually exist, did she cry? When Kate realized Santa Claus didn't exist, did she laugh? No, Kate didn't laugh. When she realized Santa Claus didn't exist. What happened when she realized the Santa Claus didn't exist? When she realized Santa didn't actually exist, she cried for almost an hour. Did she cry for just a few minutes? No, she didn't cry for just a few minutes. No, she didn't cry for just a few minutes. How long did she cry? She cried for almost an hour. Is it Tom who cried for almost an hour? No, it wasn't Tom who almost an hour. Who almost an hour? Who cried for almost an hour? It's Kate. Kate cried for almost an hour. Now I'm going to ask questions about two sisters named Grace and Emma. Do Grace and Emma have pets? Yes, Grace and Emma have pets. Are their pets dogs? No, their pets are dogs. Are their pets cats? No, their pets are cats. What kind of animals are their pets? Their pets are spiders. How many spiders do they have? They have 3 spiders. Do they think their spiders are scary? No, they didn't. No, they don't think their spiders are scary. What do they think about their spiders? Well, they think their spiders are cute. When Grace and Emma was when Grace and Emma were young, were they afraid of birds? No, they weren't afraid of birds when they were young. Were they afraid of dogs? No, they weren't afraid of dogs. What were they afraid of? They were afraid of spiders. When they were young, did they think spiders were cute? When they were young, did they think spiders were cute? No, they didn't think spiders were cute when they were young. Did they think spiders were interesting? No, they didn't think spiders were interesting. What did they think about spiders? They thought spiders were really scary. Who thought spiders were really scary? Grace and Emma thought spiders were really scary. One day, Grace and Emma, one day, Grace, one day, did Grace and Emma watch a cartoon? Yes, they did. One day, Grace and Emma watched a cartoon. Was the cartoon about dogs? No, the cartoon was about dogs. No, the cartoon wasn't about dogs. Was the cartoon about cats? No, the cartoon wasn't about cats either. What was the cartoon about? The cartoon was about spiders. Were spiders Were there spiders in the cartoon? Yes, there were spiders in the cartoon. While watching cartoon, did they feel bored? No, they didn't feel bored while they watched the cartoon. While watching the cartoon, did they feel bored? No, they didn't feel bored while watching the cartoon. Was the cartoon boring? No, the cartoon wasn't boring. Was the cartoon funny? Yes, the cartoon was funny. Were spiders in the cartoon scary? No, spiders in the cartoon weren't scary. Were spiders in the cartoon cute? Yes, spiders in the cartoon were cute. Before they watched the cartoon, were they afraid of spiders? Yes, that's correct. Before they watched the cartoon, they were afraid of spiders. What happened after they watched the cartoon? After they watched the cartoon, their fear of spiders was completely gone. After they watched the cartoon, were they afraid of spiders? No, they were. After they watched the cartoon, they were no longer afraid of spiders. Were their fear of spiders completely gone? Yes, that's correct. Their fear of spiders was completely gone.